The reaction that we've seen in sterling today heading lower and the 10-year gilt yield heading lower as well surely says something about markets being pessimistic about where we go from here. I mean, as we keep saying, the hardest work is ahead.
Yeah, and I think what markets are hanging on is the word transition. And I think before today there was probably a hope that there might be more in the statement about transition talks starting immediately, and maybe there might be an agreement very soon. And these things that could give a bounce to UK growth, but of course we didn't see any of that, and of course it wasn't likely that that was going to happen after the mess of last week, which delayed the start of EU leaders discussing these things.
What will be the biggest concern? Something like tariffs, or something like regulations, or just the performance of the economy while we wait for a deal to be hashed out?
Sorry, a concern for who? For the Bank of England? Or, I mean, for the Bank of England, I think everything. If you're the Bank of England, you're looking out 2 or 3 years, right? So that's beyond March 2019, so you're going to be concerned. What happens to the trade agreements with the 67 countries, for instance, that the EU has trade agreements with, which the UK might not, or at least has to roll those over after 2019? What happens to business investment? What exactly are the terms of the transition? What happens to employment over the next 12 months? All of these things, of course, will be of interest to the Bank of England. From my point of view, I was very surprised that in September they went so aggressively towards hiking rates in November, because I couldn't really see how the uncertainty for them was resolved. And the inflation that they're facing is temporary. And as I've just said, I think for the next 2 or 3 years and beyond, they face very considerable uncertainty about the outlook.